Greetings, whiskey folk, and welcome to the official unbottling of Cask 580 from Tallant. This is a 14-year-old Bruichladdich, matured entirely in a first fill European oak port hogshead. Yeah, port cask Bruichladdich. Ooh, I've had this before, and you can see me have this before in a special interview edition of Drinking Out Loud with Simon Farrington, the founder of Tallant. Yeah, I very much recommend checking out that video if you haven't done already. I'll put a link at the end of this video and also in the comments. But why am I unbottling this again? Why am I doing this now? Well, that's because this is actually going to be Dram E74, the 74th in our exploration series, our drop-in dram. So you can actually come into the store, Strath Ale, Wine and Spirit Merchants, and sample this whiskey for $5. And that is why I'm unbottling it again, because I need to give it a nickname. It doesn't have a nickname yet. We haven't been giving whiskies nicknames during the digital era of the Dram Association, but now we're back into being able to invite our members back into the Strath to sample whiskies. It's time to give this some official tasting notes and an official nickname. So, on with the unbottling. Look at that colour. First fill port European oak is gonna give you a big, rich, dark colour, but it's such a beautiful, beautiful whiskey, this. And it has been several months now since I last tried it. And I think one thing I probably didn't do on the video is actually read the bottle, which is an important part of the whiskey exploration process because a lot of very important information can be found on the bottle. So what does it say here? Single malt Scotch whiskey, unpeated, unchill filtered, aged 14 years in a European oak first fill port hogshead, distilled and matured at Bruichladdich Distillery, Islay. Selected and bottled from a single cask by Tallant. Distilled by Bruichladdich, aged for 14 years, bottled by Tallant. Single malt Scotch whiskey, 700 ml, 56.9% ABV. This is truly a Scotch whiskey for all. Aged in high-quality European oak hogshead, we first sipped this port cask over the winter holidays a few years back, becoming thoroughly enamoured with each rich layer of flavour. And when they say we, I believe he's probably referring to, Simon that is, referring to drinking it with a very important certain ex-manager of Bruichladdich, who he happens to be family friends with. So yes, more on that on the special interview, which I, again, recommend watching if you haven't already. Yeah, I love what European oak does to a whiskey. I love what port wood does to a whiskey. And I really do enjoy Bruichladdich when it's got a decent amount of age on it. It's no secret that I'm not necessarily a fan of young, spirit-driven Bruichladdich, but I absolutely love this range of Tallant whiskies. Actually, even the 7-year-old I thought was absolutely spectacular. Lovely. Well, let's talk about the flavours and the aromas, shall we? Ooh, that. Today is reminding me... It probably shouldn't remind me, but it reminds me of childhood. Whiskey, it's one of those things. When you're a kid, you probably don't drink much whiskey, but a lot of whiskies do have a lot of aromas that will remind you of things that you might not have enjoyed for a very long time. And in this case, Vimto. A tasting note actually came up in my my interview with Jill Boyd of Compass Box as well. She's a big Vimto fan. But yeah, this is Vimto is a sort of a Ribena-esque sort of blackcurrant rather cordial from the UK. It's also, I think, made and also very popular in the Middle East. But it's not just blackcurrant; it's sort of herbal almost as well. It's kind of like a blackcurrant Chinotto in a sense. But it's much more. It's not just Vimto, obviously. It's whiskey. It's many things, but it's not the note that I'm getting that is reminding me of Vimto. Isn't just Vimto. It's like a well-aged Vimto. I don't think you can have a vintage Vimto, but if you could have a vintage Vimto, maybe it would be a little like this. Nice and salty on the nose as well. I'm getting some nice big salted sort of cherries and caramels. so much flavour tightly packed into this whiskey. It is it's not a port bomb by any means. You know how we sort of call whiskey sherry bombs. This isn't just like overthrown by the port flavour. There's a lot of beautiful, rich oak and spirit flavour in here as well. But it's a flavour bomb. It is still there. The finish is so rich and long. And it's hard to like draw the line between like where the full flavour palate experience is and when it starts sort of morphing into a finish. Like, I almost don't remember swallowing, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Great to get reacquainted with this whiskey. I hope you've enjoyed my little unbottling of it again. And hopefully you'll be able to come to the store and join us for a sample. Check out more details at dramassociation.com, where you can find out more about this whiskey, discover more about the distillery, the bottler, and read my full flavour tasting notes. But Slash of R, I'll see you at the next one.